Not only will I have a Republican in my cabinet, but part of what I intend to do, Mayor, and put some structure around is creating a bipartisan council of advisors.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind. Listen, I plan on having a Republican in my cabinet. You asked, I got a list. Yeah, right. You asked me what's the difference between Joe Biden and me. Well, that will be one of the differences. I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet because I don't feel burdened by letting pride get in the way of a good idea.
President Cheney has endorsed you. What do you think?
I'm honored to have their endorsement, and I think that what they both, as leaders who are well respected, are making an important statement that it's okay, and if not important, to put country above party.
Our only hope is that Trump just gives up, and I don't mean like literally, of course he's not going to do that, but he's kind of de facto doing it where he just melts, right? And he just is so unelectable that she wins, because this is hopeless.
All right, guys, so as Kamala Harris's campaign continues to implode, we have to talk about the left now lashing out at Kamala Harris over her failed election strategy, okay? The strategy of thinking it's a good idea to align with neocons like Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney and others, while at the same time claiming to be the candidate of change, right? Which is what Kamala Harris is doing, okay? And we know over the past few weeks or so, her campaign has completely collapsed, okay? She's essentially lost the polling lead that she had at one point in all the swing states, right? Now all the swing states are in Trump's favor, and it looks like she's about to lose the popular vote as well too in the polling. Now, me personally, I think that she's losing by much more than what the polling suggests. However, again, we're just going by what the polling is saying as of right now in regards to where she's at. And if the election were held today, Trump would win in a landslide, right? Which means on election day, we have to show up and vote like never before in order to hand Kamala Harris and the Democrats a humiliating, embarrassing defeat, right? This is what I want, okay? I want Kamala Harris not just to lose, but to be absolutely humiliated in the process, okay? I want her to be crying on election night, okay? I want to see meltdowns and tears on election night, okay? Kind of like the meltdown and tears we saw on election night in 2016 from outlets like, for example, TYT, when Trump won the election, right? I want to see that again, okay? Because the joy is gone from the left, right? All these people were having a lot of fun when Kamala Harris first got into the race, and now all of a sudden, you'd be hard-pressed to find a Democrat that is happy about the current direction of Kamala Harris's campaign and the strategy that she is using, which leads me to this video from Cenk and TYT, in which they're going to turn on Kamala Harris. They're going to be mad at Kamala Harris and the mainstream media outlets like The View for endorsing a strategy that clearly is not working, okay? This is a terrible strategy, and I want to react to it because I think Cenk makes some interesting points here despite his Trump derangement. So let's get into it.
Our only hope is that Trump just gives up, and I don't mean like literally, of course he's not going to do that, but he's kind of de facto doing it where he just melts, right? And he just is so unelectable that she wins, because this is hopeless. What is this? We're going back to the 1990s. I love Republicans. I love bipartisanship. The Republicans have such good ideas. Might that encourage people to vote for them instead of you? And what Republicans are you talking about? See, they don't understand modern day politics at all. They're still, we're going to get the John McCain Republicans, the Dick Cheney, Mitch McConnell Republicans. No, those are corporate Republicans.
Exactly, perfect.
And those voters don't exist. So you think that because your donors are all corporate Republicans and corporate Democrats, that there's this giant subsection of the country that are like, oh my God, if she would just work with corporate Republicans to help big business, we'd vote for her. No, the undecideds are barely follow politics. They're not John McCain fans or Dick Cheney fans. They want you to help them. You need to be a populist to do that. So running towards these corporate Republicans is a disastrous strategy. It gives your opponent a rhetorical marketing advantage because you're saying the other party is good. It picks up no votes at all, and it leads you in the wrong direction where you're seen as more pro-war and pro-business when you need to be more populist and telling those undecided voters, hey, I'm going to deliver for you. I'm going to get you something, not I'm going to get Dick Cheney something.
Yo, this right here is going to the thumbnail. Okay, I love when I get a thumbnail shot accidentally, right? I get a good thumbnail shot. This face right here is a perfect encapsulation of the Kamala Harris campaign. Yo, oh my God, this man looks like he's about to cry. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. But hey, he's right for the most part, right? In the sense that not only is Kamala Harris not doing herself any favors, right, by essentially touting the endorsements of Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney. I actually think she's hurting her campaign, right? I mean, think about it. Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney, right? Neocons like that. They're some of the most unpopular people in the country, left or right, period, right? And Kamala Harris is so dumb. She's so dumb that she doesn't realize that, hey, you running around with these people, being seen with these people, that doesn't make you look good, right? Like, that's not a good thing, okay? For whatever reason, she believes that there are Republicans out there, I guess like, I don't know, the Alyssa Fair Griffins of the world, right? Who claims to be a Mitt Romney, Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney type Republican. Those people don't exist. Those people are a creation of the corporate media, right? Because let's be honest, effectively, a lot of those people have become Democrats, right? And the actual voters in the Republican Party rejected the neocons a long time ago, like in 2016. So as time has moved on, all the actual voters who were neocons, okay, pro-neocon, they effectively, again, become Democrats. This is why you can't tell the difference between somebody like Alyssa Fair Griffin and a Democrat, right? This is why on The View, she's not saying anything that's actually conservative because she's not a conservative, right? She's not, okay? She's just effectively a Democrat, okay? She's a liberal, okay? So you're not picking up anybody when you come out and, ride around with people like Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney and think that that's a good thing because those people were hated by the Democrat Party before Trump, okay? And after Trump, the Republican Party rejected him as well, right? So they've essentially been rejected by everybody in the country, and Kamala Harris thought it would be a good idea to tout their endorsements. I don't think it's a coincidence that since Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, and the neocons came out in support of Kamala Harris, her campaign has tanked, right? Have you guys noticed? Like, her tanking started like 2 weeks ago. Liz Cheney endorsed her like 2 weeks ago, okay? I don't think that's a coincidence. I really don't. But what you're saying here is that there's a realignment in the parties, right? The neocons have become Democrats, and then you have some Democrats like RFK, Tulsi of the world, right? The anti-establishment, anti-war Democrats, they have now moved on to the Republican Party, right? And that's what you're saying happening. So there's a realignment, okay? And I love this exchange. I love this trade, right? We've essentially given away Liz Cheney and the neocons, and we've gotten RFK and Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, I think that we won that trade, to be honest with you.
This is the worst strategy in the world. And I know for Democrats, they think, no. If you have the worst strategy in the world, don't tell anyone. Just compliment her on the strategy. But then she won't be able to turn around.
Boom. It's the exact same thing I've been saying, right? Especially when it comes to the question of what would you do different, right? What would you do different than Joe Biden, okay? When it comes to all of her interviews and the fact that she filibusters every single answer. She doesn't answer any questions. She doesn't admit any type of responsibility or accountability for what clearly is her fault, right? The media, part of the reason why she's losing is that they don't correct her. She's surrounded by yes people, right? Oh, everything you're doing is great. You don't need to change anything, okay? Don't change your strategy. Everything is amazing, right? Just keep doing what you're doing. And it's like, no, your strategy sucks. You need to make some changes. But hey, I'm hoping that she doesn't, okay? I'm just saying, like, I'm happy that she's doing what she's doing right now. I'm just saying this is the exact same thing that I said about how the media is partially responsible for the fact that Kamala Harris is tanking is because Democrats aren't held to standards anymore, right? Because they believe that Trump is so evil, therefore Democrats don't need to be held accountable. They should not be criticized, and that the voters should just accept anything from the Democrat Party because Trump is the worst thing ever. And that's not how it works.
And it's not like she hasn't turned around. She turned around earlier in this campaign. She was doing a brilliant job in the beginning on populist economic messaging. And she turned around to this terrible message. I'm hoping she'll turn around again and go to a correct strategy in the last 3 weeks. But you can't get us through their consultant heads, all those stupid Democratic consultants destroying this party in this country.
Now, all right, I'm just going to hold back and just move on to The View because they disagree with you, Cenk. They think that Kamala Harris has been running a perfect campaign.
Oh, they're so stupid.
So let's start with Sunny Hostin, who insisted that Harris's strategy was flawless because of the amount of money she has raised. Like that is the main indicator of a successful campaign.
Yeah, the donors.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's genius.
I think that Kamala Harris has been running a flawless campaign, and that's why she raised billions of dollars, $1 billion. I think it's because of the momentum that she has. I think it's because people believe in her, and I think people are showing that by the amount of money that they're willing to give to the campaign. I think we have the press to blame for a lot of this. About, you know, Whoopi, you always say you don't believe in polls. I'm with you now. Because I'm reading the press. First it was, Kamala's not doing enough press. Then she goes on this huge press tour. What I would like the press to talk a little bit more about is Trump is in hiding. He didn't do the 60 Minutes interview. He does not want to do another debate. He's in mental decline. Obama's speech was captivating in Pittsburgh, yet instead of talking about that, we're talking about what he said before the speech to black men.
Donald Trump has increased his support among black voters. Why do you think that is? Anyway, I am going to go back to it. Even if, let's say, best case scenario for Kamala Harris, cozying up with neocons like Dick Cheney works out for her and gets her across the finish line. I need Democratic voters to please just explain to me, why is it that you guys really want the Democrat to win if the Democrat is willing to open her administration up to neocons who do not possess the same values as us?
That's a great point. Well, the answer to that question is, but Trump, right? Because Trump evil, Trump bad, right? Trump so evil, he's so bad that we will accept Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney. That's their thought process, okay? That's their thought process. So, you know, hey, like I said, the difference between what's happening on the left versus the right, okay, the left, they are accepting of, you know, the neocons. On the other hand, the right has embraced, again, the Tulsi Gabbards, the RFKs. At least there's some shared values, right? Everything is not aligned, especially when it comes to the social agenda, okay, when you talk about Tulsi and RFK. But when it comes to anti-war, when it comes to anti-corruption, anti-establishment agenda, right? There's alignment there, okay? And that is what the alignment is actually on policy, on values. When it comes to the neocons and the Democrats, well, the alignment is that, well, they're all a part of the establishment, first and foremost, okay? They're all a part of the club, but also they just hate Trump, right? And that's just what it comes down to. They just hate Trump, right? That's what it is.
Right? If the Democratic Party becomes the new party of neocons, why do we care so much about getting the Democrat elected?
No, they have one.
I just need to understand. I need to understand because, guys, okay, I don't care about the party's label. I care about what the party is going to do to make our lives better. And if the signaling right now is we're going to be like the Bush era Republicans, what is the point?
Well, the point is that Trump bad, right? That's the point. That is the only thing driving all of this for the left, okay, for the neocons, for the establishment. Trump bad, okay? They throw out all values. It doesn't matter what Kamala Harris believes. It doesn't matter who she aligns with. None of these things matter to them. It's just, well, Trump is the most evil thing ever. And again, this is part of the reason why Kamala Harris is going to lose, okay? It's because Democrats don't have standards anymore, right? The liberal media, they have thrown away journalism. They say we don't need to do journalism anymore, right? Specifically on MSNBC, we don't need to do it because Trump's such an evil threat that we have to talk shit about him 24/7. And if we don't, then he might win. Therefore, it's okay for us not to do our jobs. And that is one of the main reasons for the current downfall of the Democrat Party and Kamala Harris.
So look, there is no point left to these corporate Democrats. The only point is survival. So you know what I think. I think Trump is a deranged wannabe dictator. So, and he proves it every day. Just played you the clip of him saying the military should take care of the enemy from within.
Well, I mean, again, is this type of derangement? Again, that's the reason why you're losing, Cenk. See, Cenk thinks everybody else is an idiot, but he's also an idiot just like them, right? He might be a little bit less of an idiot than them, than The View, but he's still an idiot. Because if you think that Trump is going to be some deranged dictator, then yeah, that would justify voting for Kamala Harris, right? That would be your justification for saying, well, no. We don't need to hold Kamala to any standard because we think that Trump is going to be a deranged dictator and anything is better than Trump, right? Which, again, is the main justification that they use for not holding Kamala to any standards, which is why she's losing. So, again, he's so silly, right? He's so dumb. He doesn't realize that his Trump derangement is part of the reason why Kamala is doing what she's doing, right? This is why she's embracing this strategy. It's all because of Trump derangement, right? That's what it is.
So we have a deranged dictator versus a hopeless corporate politician. So, I mean, look, on The View, full-blown conspiracy theory, lunatic, QAnon, blue MAGA, whatever you want to call them. Kamala Harris has run a flawless campaign? A flawless campaign. Amazing. And by the way, they were saying the same thing about Joe Biden as his brain was falling out of his ear. Okay, and the press is too mean to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is perfect, but the press, they like Trump too much and they're too mean to Kamala Harris. Look, I think that to some degree, some parts of the press sane wash Donald Trump, a new term that I love, and it's true. And I think he's a lunatic and they just treat him as if he has strategy and is a normal person. But thinking that they're too mean to Kamala Harris, that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I mean, all right.
All right.
Yeah. Yo, I love this, man. I absolutely love what's happening right now. There's a whole lot of joy, guys. There's a whole lot of joy on one side of the aisle right now, and there's not a lot of joy on the other side of the aisle. It's just hilarious to think about where this race was just a month or two ago, and now where is that right now? We got to finish her off, man. We have to defeat Kamala Harris in a way that's so humiliating and so embarrassing that it goes down in the history books, right? I'm so serious. 100 years from now, I want historians to be talking about this landslide victory for Trump, right? And this defeat for Kamala Harris, okay? So we got to finish her off, okay? We cannot get complacent, okay? We have to sprint through the finish line. You can see that the left, they're on their last leg, okay? They're on their last leg. And yeah, things are not going well for them. But again, we cannot get complacent. We cannot get cocky. We cannot be overconfident. We have to vote like we're 20 points behind because as far as I'm concerned, we are, right? That's how we have to act. Okay, so we got to get out there and do what we got to do to finish them off in an embarrassing fashion for them. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.